Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So, 8.3 has kind of been announced, and we know it's going to be Visions of N'alotha. And so this is where speculation comes in for the next expansion. Now, people might think, now again, I reviewed the Shadowlands leak, and still, take it with a bag of salt, because it may or may not happen. But I think it's setting up to where it is going to happen. I think we are going to go to the Shadowlands next expansion. It's not going to happen the way they said. We're not going to be in Stormwind, die, and then Helia's ships come to ferry us off. But I think that's what it's setting up to. There's been so much talk of death and the Shadowlands that, you know, we're not going to kill N'alotha this time around. He's going to escape. Or we're going to have to retreat because we're facing the full force of an old god. A fully released old god, not just a fragment of his power. No, this is the big kahuna himself. And he's like the most powerful of them at the moment. At first, Y'Shaarj was the strongest, but then we all know what happened. Aman'Thul reached in, pulled him out, and that's what caused the Well of Eternity in the Maelstrom, or the Well of Eternity, essentially being pulled out, and it basically was the wound from being pulled out, and Azeroth's blood started to just kind of come forth, and that's what the Well of Eternity was. It's Azeroth's life essence. So after that, they were like, yeah, we better not do that. Let's just, imprison them, keep their powers at bay, so that way they can't cause any harm. But there's the Black Empire, which is going to be the next raid for the final raid for 8.3 and for BFA. And Azshara is going to be there, but we're not going to actually fight her. So I'm guessing we're going to have to fight for her. We're going to have to help her escape her imprisonment, because when we see her, she's being tortured. And I've already thought that maybe she's going to fight with us, because she's not going to appreciate the fact that she was betrayed, and we all know she's too prideful to just continue fighting for N'alotha. I think once we save her, she's going to kind of realize, oh hey, I've been fucked over, and I don't appreciate that. I'm Queen Azshara. You don't do that to Queen Azshara. So I think she's going to help us in some kind of way, maybe strengthening us, giving us a buff that might help us against N'alotha, because she's been around him. But it's going to culminate in a battle, a final battle with N'alotha himself, in which case he might retreat, or we might have to retreat, because, like I said, he's an old god. The Titan Keepers were having difficulty fighting them, and we're essentially weaker than Titan Keepers. So we might have to retreat for the time being. We might take care of him next expansion. That's why he's being introduced in the last patch, because he's going to be next expansion. I don't know if we're going to take him out right away in the first patch, or it's going to be like the second patch, but I don't think he's going to make it all the way to the end of the next expansion. We're going to take him out fairly early, but then his death might cause a ripple effect and things might start going bad. But I think Shadowlands is where we're going. It's not going to be like what we saw where Ny'alotha is in the middle, because we know now that Ny'alotha, we're going to Ny'alotha. This is where we're going to fight N'alotha. So we're going there. So I think the Shadowlands is going to happen, just not as it is. And some of it might be true with like the trippy effects and all that, because as I've said in the previous videos, Warlords of Draenor, completely out there. They're like, oh, they wouldn't do time travel. That's stupid. It came out, it was leaked, and there was a lot of misinformation, but most of it was correct. They were like, yeah, they're doing a time travel expansion. Like, it's not going to happen. We got it. We got a leak saying about Mr. Pandaria, saying there was going to be Pandaren in this. Oh, that's not going to happen. It happened. So sometimes these leaks do have a lot of information that is real. But but a lot of it is kind of made up. I don't know if they do that on purpose because maybe they're not allowed to. They feel like if they leak everything in the full context that, you know, but if they add some kind of fake, stupid made up, it's like, okay, well, it just seems like maybe it was just made up by someone. So, yeah, I think we will be going there. Bolvar, I think, will have a thing to do with it because he can go, you know, we know we can go in and out of Shadowlands as Death Knights. We went there to get our mount. When you start out as a Death Knight, you're able to go into the Shadowlands and you have to get your mount yourself. So we're able to dive in there. Odin might have something to do because he's able to look into the Shadowlands itself. Helia, Wansamdi. We might be seeing Wansamdi's boss. Okanath says something about the Father's Sleep, which Mwazala, I believe Mwazala is the Father's Sleep. So we might be seeing, and Mwazala might be Wansamdi's boss. There might be, because they're both Loa, but I think Mwazala is a more powerful Loa. So you have Wansamdi, who is a powerful Loa of Death, but then he has his boss, Mwazala, who is even more powerful of Death. So powerful, he doesn't even have a form. He's like the shapeless mass. So he can, I guess he can take any form he wants. We also had in the leak something about Hakar, the Soul Flare, who we thought we dealt with in Cataclysm with Zul'Gurub, you know, going in there and taking care of things in there and preventing his return. And so people think it's Hakar, Soul Flare, who's actually Wansamdi's boss, although I doubt that. Wansamdi has a little bit too much free will. Hakar is not a nice deity. He's called the Soul Flare. He's not a nice guy. So I don't think Wansamdi would be as laid back and relaxed as he is if he was under the employment of Hakar. So we might be seeing Hakar, but is he the boss of Wansamdi? I don't think so. I think Mwazal is probably most likely, since he is another Loa of Death. We'll be seeing Helia, I'm sure, because she's back in Helheim apparently, getting stronger and rebuilding her strength after her defeat by us. Bolvar, like I said, we didn't see him really the entire expansion, except for when we went there with Vol'jin saying, "Hey, Bolvar, you sly fox, you did you tell Sylvanas to make, you know, tell Vol'jin to make Sylvanas war chief?" He's like, "No, she's a bad person, and if you don't leave right now, I'm going to kill you." It's like, okay. But someone pointed out, with all the visions and stuff, when we go there's like these burning eyes of like the Lich King, so he might be keeping tabs on us. So it might have been him, I don't know, but I don't. All three of them, Ayer, Wansamdi, and Bolvar, all said the same thing. Sylvanas upsets the balance. Their job is to, you know, shepherd essentially souls to the other side, and you know, Bolvar keeps the undead in check. Wansamdi takes souls to the other side. Helia, same thing. Sylvanas kills, but then she keeps them for herself. She doesn't allow their spirits to pass on. Therefore, when Wansamdi, he doesn't like it because the souls that he takes, if you see his it fades in and out, those are souls going through. He's empowered by these souls. The more he has, the more powerful he becomes. So he's not going to let Sylvanas be running amok, keeping all those fresh, delicious souls, you know, by raising up when they could be coming to him. He's not going to do that. Ayer, same thing. She's a Valkyr. She's, you know, Valor. So she's not going to say, "Oh, hey, Vol'jin, by the way." And she said she pretty much doesn't have the power to bring him back. That Vol'jin's been touched by a hand of Valor, and that's something even she can't do. So he's been touched by this higher power. That's something even she is not capable of doing. Bolvar, I mean, he is a Lich King, and he does say Sylvanas upsets the balance, but he does serve death. That's what the undead is. It's death. And what is one of the strongest, if not the strongest force against old gods? Death. Because they're pretty much immune to the void corruption. So, if someone was maybe building an army against, giant, tentacly old god, who better to set things in motion than the guy who is literally the dead king, the Lich King, the guy who, the jailer of the damned, keeper of the undead. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. But no, I'm just saying, if that happens, but Ny'alotha will be taken out at some point. Helia will be seen. Now, as for the Horde, I mean, we still have the little icons next to our names. I mean, I don't think people who play the game are stupid and they're like, oh, I'm going to play this character. Oh, what faction was I again? Was I the Horde or was I... No, you know what Horde, if you're Horde Alliance, just by the character itself. You're not going to look at a Night Elf and be like, oh, am I Horde or Alliance? I don't remember. Me dumb. Oh, Blizzard, please help. No. So obviously these little icons that may be for aesthetics, you look down, so that way you can maybe rearrange. So you want all your Horde on the top, all the Alliance on the bottom. Maybe it has some bigger purpose. I don't know. But there's that. A few other questions are Titan facilities. There was a few Titan facilities that were mentioned by the Maiden of Virtue, or one of the maidens. I think it was Maiden of Virtue, right? But they went like old. I think Old Az was another one. So hopefully we'll be seeing these Titan facilities in the next expansion, because we're going to need to go to them, because I guarantee you Ny'alotha's forces are going to make their way to these Titan facilities and try to corrupt anything that's there, because Titan facilities usually have something strong in them. Some kind of powerful artifact, powerful enemy that might be lying dormant there that's been kind of contained into this facility, like we saw with Gahun in Uldir. So that's something that the old gods, particularly Ny'alotha, now that he's out and about, we might see Xal'atath. She's kind of wandering the cosmos right now, but she did say we might be crossing paths again sooner than we hope. Sooner than we think. I hope. Now that she's got that sexy void elf body going on. But I think this expansion after BFA is going to focus on death, the characters of death. So that means Loa, anything pertaining to death that was talked about. Dragon Isles, I do think, is going to be something. It's been hinted, it's been talked about. Sometimes they showed BlizzCon with things that you could get for the ticket. Now normally that kind of hints at something. Tyrande and Illidan skins for your Overwatch characters, and will they play? I think we know Tyrande is going to be a big part, because she hasn't been doing anything since she did the whole Elune thing, the ritual of night and becoming this night warrior. So we'll see her next expansion. We'll see what she's been up to. Nathanos, I mean, he just disappeared in Najatar, and then we see him at Sylvanas, Windrunner Spire, and he's walking away like, safe journey, my love, and it's like, oh, how sweet. He loves Sylvanas, and Sylvanas is just gonna right in the back, right in Nathanos' back, and he's like, my love, why? Because I have no love. I'm Sylvanas. So hopefully, I think pretty much we're gonna find what he was doing with Xal'atath. Um, we will find out what Sylvanas is up to. I'm sure they'll reveal that it's like, oh, see, she was the good guy all along. She put herself in that position because she knew what had to be done. I think she might try to use Xal'atath and possibly keep N'Zoth bound within it, kind of like Xal'atath was. Now that Xal'atath is out, it's just the blade of the Black Empire. So we might be capturing N'Zoth in a weapon, with the final battle kind of culminating in all of us using the Heart of Azeroth and kind of not Heart of Azeroth. We're probably not going to keep it for the next expansion, but some kind of ability to kind of hold him at bay to prevent him from moving. And she's going to do something, hold up the blade, and he's going to his essence into it. He's just going to slowly disappear, and the blade's going to become shiny again, not so dull. But I think that's how it might happen, if that's what the end is going to be. And it would also be cool because it also leaves him the possibility of coming back, because he's bound in the blade. But as we saw with Xal'atath, she's able to get out of it. So it's kind of like the Pantheon, just kind of hovering there. The seat of the Pantheon. They're sealed away right now, but they're coming back. We know that. So N'Zoth being sealed away in the blade, that gives him a chance to come back. Maybe not now. Maybe the next expansion. It might be 2 expansions from now, but it gives him a chance to come back. And next time he comes back, it could be the full force of all the old gods. Like Y'Shaarj could be risen again, like revived somehow with some of his blood or something like that from the Dread Wastes, and we might have a full Y'Shaarj unleashed, and we have to go around and fight all the old gods once again, which would be cool. I would love to fight Yogg-Saron. Y'Shaarj we've never seen. We just know he was the most powerful of all of them. That's why Aman'Thul had to rip him out himself, because they really couldn't just defeat him. This guy was that strong. But yeah, that's my theory for the next expansion. I think we definitely are going to the Shadow. I was about to say the Shadow Realm. Mind Crush. We're going to the Shadow Realm. We're gonna play a Shadow game. We're gonna lose, and we're gonna lose our minds and get sent to the Shadow Realm. No, we're going to the Shadowlands. We're gonna deal with death. And all these loose ends are going to be tied up very nicely, I think. And I really hope that they really did make Sylvanas like this savior, this person who's like Batman, who's taking all this criticism and sacrificing, and she's making the right choices, knowing she's going to be hated for it, and that people are going to despise her and fight against her, but she's doing it for the betterment of the world. I mean, turning everyone undead, it's not very nice, but the undead is the strongest army you have against an old god and their corruption. So I think that's what we're doing. I think it'll eventually culminate in N'Zoth being sealed away in Xal'atath, or not Xal'atath, but being sealed away in the blade of the Black Empire. The Black Empire will fall for a time, where it might rise up again one day, somewhere down the line. Probably after the Titans come back, because I guarantee you the Titans will return before we have to deal with any old gods again. So, but that's me. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your guys' theories, because BlizzCon's right around the corner, and I'm sure everything will obviously be revealed then. But it's fun to speculate about things before that, because we've still got a month to go. So let me know. And yeah, the usual thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.